would assume that the airline their travel agents booked them on will be the airline carrying them to their destination. But this is not always the case. Increasingly, package tour operators and airlines around the world are wet leasing foreign-registered aircraft to supplement their fleets during peak flying times. In most cases, they are not obliged to tell tourists where these aircraft are from. Empty life vests and debris were all that was left after a jet carrying 189 people from the Caribbean to Germany crashed into shark-infested waters off the Dominican Republic in 1996. Many of the passengers who were scheduled to fly on a Dominican Republic airline would have been surprised to learn that the flight was actually owned and operated by a Turkish charter carrier. The crash was attributed to mistakes made by the overworked Turkish crew. Investigators could find almost nothing recognizable on this Colombian mountainside, where a Boeing 727 with 53 passengers and crew crashed in April of 1998. Although officially listed as an Air France flight, the 26-year-old plane was actually owned and operated by TAME, a commercial division of the Ecuadorian Air Force. The crash, which was the airline's 12th since 1971, has again raised the question of how to ensure the safety of flights conducted under agreements between airlines from different countries. The information regarding the ownership, maintenance, and operation of many aircraft is not readily offered by airlines, creating a lack of protection that is unique. Surely, when you place the lives of your loved ones in the hands of an airline, you should have this important information available to you. The implications of not knowing could be grave indeed. The military has always been at the forefront of cutting-edge aviation technology. Western experts said that this Russian Sukhoi performed maneuvers that were aerodynamically impossible. But despite the huge defense budget supporting military fleets, they're no more exempt from the principal causes of accidents than their civil counterparts.
Down goes
forward. Jump the carriage as well.
Goes. Yep. Andy's got it.
He's got the table and he's just going off the runway now.
And the undercarriage has collapsed.
Yeah.
They're still inside. Bloody hell, I'd have been out and running by now.
Canopy's open.
Yeah.
Okay, down.
We're just orbit.
Wave off power. Raise your gear. Raise your gear. Power.
Eject, eject! Who's playing guard?
1991, the crash of this F-22 stealth fighter prototype caused serious concern in the Pentagon, where its multi-billion-dollar development fund was authorized. It's now in service. So is this Swedish fighter, which was almost scrapped after this prototype crashed. With such a high price in human and material terms, it's no wonder that the military place great stock in exhaustive research and testing, a practice both envied and utilized by the civilian industry. This test shows what happens when aviation fuel is released into a stream of air and ignited. It forms a fine mist, which burns incredibly easily and fiercely. Fire like this is the most common cause of death in survivable air crashes. In 1984, 2 fully fueled World War II-era planes were test crashed. The second aircraft's fuel contained a coagulant fuel additive designed to turn to gel when agitated, which would dramatically reduce the spread of fire. This persuaded authorities to conduct a full-scale test by crashing a remote-controlled Boeing 720 whose fuel tanks contained the new fuel additive. The test would cost $11 million. Aviation authorities also took the opportunity to place on board 64 test dummies, some wired to monitoring equipment, to investigate the effects of crashing on humans. The test would dictate whether the industry would commit itself to spending billions worldwide making the additive mandatory. Such a commitment required conclusive test results. So it was with great expectations that the Boeing took off from Edwards Air Force Base in California. Not the desired non-combustible result. Everything, including the test dummies, was incinerated. The industry has been conducting research into the safest seating positions for years. The head and lower legs hitting the seat in front cause most injuries. As a result, the recommended brace position was changed. But some experts argue that rear-facing seats would reduce the risk of serious injuries substantially. But airlines vetoed them, citing studies that showed they could cause confusion in evacuations. Runway overshoots occur frequently. 5 people died on this Boeing 737 in New York. All airports are required to have a 1,000-yard skirt to accommodate them, but that is often not enough. This porous concrete bed was developed to slow aircraft down. But it would cost billions to install in every airport. Next, the thrill and danger of air shows. When Air Disasters returns on TLC.